The Boys! We've all got them, we all love them, and the TV show is pretty good too. After the success of the first 3 seasons of the Prime Video series, the new spin-off, Gen V, gives audiences a new look into the deliciously disturbing universe of The Boys. For a franchise that goes out of its way to poke fun at the superhero genre, is a spin-off really what this world needed? I'll be talking about that in just a second, but first, hello, my name is Aidan Green, and I like movies and TV. I like to talk about them, often too much, and sometimes I throw my thoughts, feelings, and emotions into the black hole that is YouTube. If you want to hear more stuff, make sure you subscribe, and if you give the video a like, it'll give other nerds like yourself a better chance at finding my content. Sounds like a good deal to me. I have taken a little time away from the big red tube as I've been directing a film. Here's a sneak peek.
Bookstore.
But I'm glad to be back here doing what I do best, chatting absolute bollocks about things that don't really matter. Gen V. At the time of recording, 6 out of 8 episodes of the series have been released. The story isn't far from your usual The Boys arc, encompassing themes of exploitation, trauma, and capitalism, but Gen V observes them through a more youthful lens. Set at a superhero university, our characters have to deal with the usual corruption and violence of the mother show, all while exploring their own identities along the way. I'm a sucker for a young adult series, especially with a killer ensemble cast, so I can be pretty picky when the genre is handled tastefully and when it's handled poorly.
Hey, Sean.
Hey,
Hey, when'd you get an attitude?
I don't have an attitude.
Great. So maybe we can go out sometime?
I don't know. I'm kind of busy.
Doing what? Come on.
All right, call me.
I'm happy to say that Gen V well and truly does the genre justice and delivers a refreshing installment to the Boys universe, a universe which I felt needed a bit of a shake-up at the conclusion of Season 3. In fact, I'd go so far to say that I'm enjoying Gen V more than I enjoyed The Boys. A lot more, actually. It's probably because I'm a whiny little sook and I love the young people dealing with problems much bigger than them narrative, but nevertheless, here's why I feel that Gen V is not only worth watching, but why it's even better than The Boys. Every character is entertaining and likable. We've got a handful of characters here in Gen V, but the core cast is significantly smaller than the bulging call sheet for The Boys. Every single one of our heroes has a strong ghost, a moment in their past that has caused them to be the work-in-progress characters that they currently are. They're all on journeys to better themselves, a process that is never linear, and Marie's flip-flop with being a star student across the series' first 3 episodes is a great reflection of that. I also really love the angle that these youthful characters take towards V itself. A lot of their ghosts stem from the day they got their powers, deadly situations which they blame themselves for, but as Marie begins to learn, they should not feel responsible for. I could honestly write a whole video essay on every single one of the characters here, but for now all I'll say is that Lizzie Broadway as Emma is an absolute scene stealer. I love the friendship between her and Marie and the similarities between them both needing to self-harm to use their powers. It's a great plot device, and once again you could write a whole essay on what that tells us about their characters. Emma feeling pressed from her mother's obsession with her becoming the perfect star, and Marie hating herself after the death of her parents. It's a whole damn rabbit hole, but frankly, I don't want to get that dark today. I also want to give a shout out to Jordan, a character whose main power allows them to switch between genders, a fantastic way of telling the story of a non-binary character. Gen V is definitely using its young adult genre to its advantage, highlighting and hopefully bringing to light the troubles of our youth today. As a guy in his mid-20s, I definitely find myself listening more to younger characters in film and TV, so while The Boys talks a lot about parentage and family, I can really find myself relating more to these characters who all are struggling with finding who they are. Personal identity is important and ever-changing, and Gen V is definitely reflecting that. Storytelling and structure. I got into The Boys very late in the game, watching all 3 seasons back to back earlier in the year. I really enjoyed it, but certain parts of the show did blend together for me. I could tell you what each season was about, but probably couldn't really pinpoint any standout episodes, which isn't really a bad thing. It's a reflection of the 2020s love for serialized storytelling. Gone are the days of Villain of the Week episodes, and that's probably for the best, unless you're a series where a new mystery or adventure every week is part of the show's original concept. With this change in storytelling, I do miss those standout episodes, the ones that are different and take a backseat from the show's main plot to break up the series and focus solely on a unique premise with character work in the forefront. Gen V gives us a healthy balance of everything. It has a main plot that takes up the majority of its episodes for sure, but within that we have the episode where the school is being investigated by a horny, power-hungry journalist list, and the one where the kids are trapped in the mind of a dying character who knows each of their darkest secrets, testing out the characters' journeys so far. There's also the episode where the characters forget everything they've discovered. These are episodes that work so well at advancing the larger story of Gen V, while also rewarding audiences with a unique concept each week, and giving audiences a proper beginning, middle, and end, something that is surprisingly hard to come by in these big budget serialized dramas. I think the Marvel TV shows are almost insulting with how they handle TV storytelling, but that's a story for another time. The bottom line is that Gen V not only continues to advance its storyline weekly without losing steam, but it also gives us unique concepts almost every week. Big fan of that. Lastly, I just wanted to mention how often I find myself surprised with the show. Not only was I surprised by how good it was, but it's also extremely well plotted. In particular, there's one major character twist in recent episodes, if you know you know, that caught me so off guard while also making so much sense. It was a character twist connected tightly to telling a character story, and I bloody love that. I found that with The Boys, I always had a sense of where characters were going, but there's some characters here that are so complex and real that I just don't bloody know what's gonna happen next. How refreshing. Also, shout out to the music supervisor of the series. The soundtrack really does just feel like a more youthful version of The Boys. It's grungy and rocky, a little poppy, but all through a youthful lens, or eardrum in this case. Seriously, if a show plays me some Wolf Alice, I'm always gonna love it. God, they're just amazing, aren't they? What a band. Anyways, go watch Gen V if you haven't already. I'm stoked about it. I've loved watching it, keen to see where it goes. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, make sure you subscribe, like the video, tell me what you thought about The Boys, tell me what you think about Gen V down in the comments below. I love to hear it, love to hear from you all. Illy, XLXO, Gossip, Aidan, I declare this review over.